everyone, I'm Yvonne.
And I'm Anna.
And we are Eveno.com. And first of all, we'd just like to begin by saying thank you to everybody who has commented, who has sent us an email, who has participated in our discussion. The feedback has been absolutely amazing, so thank you. We're actually responding to a question from someone who wrote in and would prefer to remain anonymous, and they asked us, what is going on with the music industry today? Do you guys feel like we need to be more mindful of the music we're listening to?
Right, and we absolutely love this question because it's something we had been discussing anyway. And I was telling Yvonne earlier that I first became mindful of the music I was listening to when I was 14 years old, and someone introduced me to a very popular DVD at the time called The Truth About Hip Hop. And in it, a pastor was, exploring hip hop, but looking at the deeper, darker side of hip hop that we tend to not, look at. And he talked about it in a very spiritual way, but he also looked at the lyrics in the music, and I immediately threw away all my DVDs. I said I'm only listening to gospel music. But years later now, I do listen to all kinds of music. But one thing that stuck in my mind from the DVD was that I do need to be more mindful of the music I'm listening to.
Absolutely, and irrespective of whatever religion you are, whether you're Christian, whether you're a Muslim, whether you have no faith at all, it doesn't matter. This topic is not dependent on what faith you have or what you believe in. Music is incredibly powerful, incredibly influential. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry for a reason. And just imagine if you're in a conversation with someone and they said something to you that was offensive, something that was homophobic, or something that was racially motivated in a negative way, you would have a problem with it. Why is it that when there's a beat to it, we're suddenly okay with it? There has to be something wrong with that.
Right, I totally agree. And the best way to, even look at this is if we look at music, popular music we listen to, even music when we were, younger, bobbing our hair, dancing, and we didn't even know what we were talking about. Now that we're older, we can, go back and look at this music. I remember a song I loved, which I am actually going to attempt to ragga chat it. But I'm sure you guys are familiar with this song, and it went from them apart in a chichiman car, blaze the fire, make we burn them. And I laugh, but seriously, in all seriousness, that song, it's not funny. If you sing that song, you feel okay to sing about putting a gay man in a car, because Chichi Man is gay man.
I had no idea. Wow.
Yeah. And, I remember when I was younger, people used to say, Banda Chichi Man. And
oh my gosh, that's
awful. But, you saying this is saying you're okay with putting a gay man in a car and setting it on fire. And I don't care what your faith is. Yeah. No faith should be okay with saying that it's okay to be violent and kill people because of what they believe in.
That's awful. And, now thinking back, when I was back home, there was a song that was so popular. So many people know this song. It's the Bend Over song. This song plays in clubs. Girls, guys, everybody goes crazy. But if we look at the lyrics of this song, girl, make me push it. Inna. I'm not going to do your... I can't do that. I'm not going to try. But they say, get extreme, see what I mean, force it in, beat her up with 25 lashes, inna, force it in. That's what they're singing. That's what they're saying. So we're dancing to this song and we're basically promoting the idea of raping a girl.
It's crazy. I can't understand how we can feel like, it's just music.
Exactly.
It's okay.
Exactly. And I feel like a lot of people may even write in and comment and say, it's just a song. Get over it, girls. It's just a song. It's not just a song. At the end of the day, when you're in a bad mood or in a good mood, the music you play is always reflecting that. There's songs that you play to make you feel better about your day, whatever. So music has an influence over your thinking and how you feel about yourself. So it's never just a song at all.
Yeah, we need to actually stop behaving ignorantly and believe we're more powerful than music. It doesn't do anything to us, because we, especially with violence, I feel we have been accepting this within music for far too long. I remember last year while I was doing my master's project, I looked at horrorcore music and I'd never heard of it. And horrorcore is a subgenre of hip hop which looks at cannibalism, rape, murder, Satanism, just horrible things it looks at.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember when Eminem, at the time I was, doing my project, he came out with a new song called 3 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And people were saying, oh, he's returned to his horrorcore roots. This is, Eminem is mature again. So I'm actually not going to rap some of the lyrics on this song, but I'm just going to share it with you. And you guys, you let me know if you think this is mature. Mm-hmm. I wrapped him in Christmas lights, pushed him into the stinking tub, cut him up into pieces, and just when I went to drink his blood.
That's awful.
That's maturity. No, that's horrible, disturbing. It's disgusting.
And people would be listening to this and bopping it, and you just wonder what kind of effect is that having on a person. If you look at even the top 10 songs right now, number one is Beyonce's "Run the World." We don't want to sound like Beyonce haters or anything.
No, she's
but
beautiful.
She's beautiful,
she's
wonderful girl. But she's singing this song about girls running the world, and she just keeps calling us bitches. And it's like, that's not very empowering for women. How does that show that girls run the world in any way at all?
Well, wait, it's not Beyonce.
What do you mean it's not Beyonce?
It's Sasha.
Sasha Fierce.
I know that I'm not the only person that's seen the video with Beyonce. Like, oh, Sasha, she mad, she crazy. And then Destiny's Child is sitting there with her, and they're okay with this. And I'm like, if I was there, like, Beyonce's kind of crazy. But
she's possibly schizophrenic.
Right.
Actually.
Like, let's not even talk about, like, she's bad-mouthing women. She's flipping out of her mind.
But anyway, we're not going to go into that. At the end of the day, in the same video, she does call guys bitches as well. Mm-hmm. But I guess the point that we're trying to get at is calling anybody a bitch. That should be a problem. If I came up to you and called you a bitch in a club, you would be offended. Just because there's a beat to it doesn't make it right.
Exactly. Be mindful, people. Exactly. Listen to music, but be mindful.
That's us for this week. Email us if you have any questions. askiveno@gmail.com. Check out our blog, www.iveno.com, and we will see you guys next time. Bye!